Hello. Hey everyone, it's Angie, your host for From Religion to Woohoo. So it's been several days since I have made a recording or posted anything in my podcast. And honestly, I really have just been on this really strange healing moment. I don't even know how to explain it, to be completely honest. I have noticed on my healing journey that there have been moments where I'm just like bulldozing through life and just feeling good, and like there's moments of like struggle, but there are like it feels good. And then there are these times like I've been going through in the last week where I am just like drained and have no energy and have no it's almost as if I struggle to show up for anything outside of my own self. And so I have learned throughout my process of digging in and healing that it's important to take time to just be and to not try to force yourself to do things just because like you want to show up for other people or you want to do something for somebody else. Because when you start aligning your energy to be, everybody else's need, like fill their needs, then one, you are completely draining yourself and you're not able to give to yourself the energy you need. And then when you do give to other people and you do give out of yourself and your energy, that comes from complete like lack and not a positive energy, really. And so I have learned when I'm going through these really deep healing moments to just let myself be. And so I've been doing that recently. Today I'm feeling better. I do know that if any of you follow astrology, I'm in Aries, and so my sun is in Aries, and right now Chiron is in the Aries, like within the Aries planet or whatever. I don't know how you would say that. I'm not an astrologist. I'm not even going to pretend to know any of that stuff, but I do know what Chiron means, and Chiron is the wounded, like what I've heard, like the wounded warrior, the part that really pushes people into healing wounds and digging into things that maybe they haven't really faced. And so, and some of the things I'm working through right now aren't like new for me. I think it's just another layer. And I've found that there's been some opportunities for me to really prove my healing, not to other people, but to myself. Like needing to set a boundary or saying no to something when, normally I would say yes and give in. And really just allowing myself to be okay with that. There was, I had planned to hang out with a friend this weekend, and she ended up going out with some friends for lunch, and it ended up going late, and they were having some drinks and hanging out. And when I text to, meet up with her, she was like, oh goodness, I met these friends and I'm out here and I don't know if I can hang out now, and you should come hang out with us. And, I really wasn't feeling it. And I honestly one, I'm trying to save money. Two, I am not like my energetic field right now of where I am is not lined up with that kind of socializing, like going out and drinking and stuff. So I know that in order to protect myself to keep moving forward and what I want to do, I need to set that boundary and basically choose not to participate at this moment. It doesn't mean that at some point I won't, but it's just for my own healing, that is something I need to set a boundary for. And so I think that a lot of people that have been through trauma tend to try to show up for everybody around them because you really feel like that's how you're going to be seen and heard and loved. And it's almost a fearful like a fear and abandonment happens when you have gone through like neglect, or even have a parent that kind of relies on you to fulfill their own emotional needs. Or growing up, you always felt like you had to protect somebody or protect yourself, or if it was kind of a abusive situation where you always were on alert and making sure you were making a good, the right decision, you kind of learned to like act and respond in ways that is always tailored to what others around you need. And so when you're in the healing process, learning to set boundaries, learning to choose yourself, learning your own energy needs and what is going to affect your energy is so important, and setting those boundaries without guilt. And I will tell you, there are many boundaries that I have been setting that have been so super hard. But I keep reminding myself that just because it's hard right now doesn't mean it's always going to be hard. And as well, if I set a boundary in this moment about something that I need, it's not, if it hurts somebody else, then, I'm feel bad. I really honestly do feel bad about that. But I'm not responsible for their feelings either, just like they're not responsible for how I feel. So what I'm working on is allowing myself just to see and hear myself, like I'm important too. So something that I came across in this last week, I've been going through this academy thing I signed up for, and after I signed up for it, like at first I was like, I don't know if I fully believed I was supposed to be in it or not, or if I just kind of convinced myself of it, because at the time I was really seeking for things outside of myself to feel like I could show up in the world and not feel like a complete imposter. However, that's not how you solve that problem, because I still have it sometimes. Anyways, but this has provided me an opportunity to learn how to put my healing practices into practice, or my healing into practice. And during this school that I'm taking, there have been several things that have not aligned up with my values and my experiences and things that I really want to live out in this life. Like, I truly have no desire to, and this is a natural human thing that's going to happen no matter what. But my desire is to not compare myself or what I bring to the world to others, because I really do believe we all have our divine purpose, and we're all so separate, and we're all just, perfect. In our spirit, we're all perfectly made for a divine calling. And, there's different callings, there's different levels of that, and none of them are, if you look on a spiritual realm, none of it is hierarchy. Like, none of it's above the other. And you will find that in religion a lot. Like, you have like the head pastor or the priest, and then you have the people under them, then you have deacons and elders, and then you have all the sub little groups like the Sunday schools and the women's group, the men's group, and then you have youth groups, and you have singles groups. You have like all these different things, and all of it comes underneath like this head person that like is kind of making the decisions. And that is an important structure within the earthly realm, I guess, to keep order. However, when it comes to giftings and manifesting your divine self, like, I don't necessarily believe that there is a comparison in that, because like, even if I am under a boss, I'm going to bring a totally different gift than that person is. Like, what I would be hired for is for my ability. So anyways, in this school I'm taking, like, there's been some things that kind of have really rubbed me wrong. That there's been some comparisons being made in some of the teachings and stuff between what I am working on and what they are, comparing this role to be. And I just was feeling so irritated, and it was like almost like I felt myself becoming almost hateful towards this person that was like teaching these things. And so I never, literally never in my life actually like put myself out there and told somebody, I don't agree with this. I'm not going to continue this. I want to be released. And I did it. I sent an email, and they ended up wanting to talk to me in person. And so this week I ended up talking to them on the phone, and I told them my side. And, they gave me some really good points about like when you're healing or when you're moving forward, like how resistance can be. And I totally agree. I think some of it probably is resistance to changing some things, but I also really saw the value in what I was presenting to them, and they also saw that too. So I was thankful that they were able to hear that. But oh my gosh, let me tell you what, guys, for like 2 or 3 days after I did this, that was on Monday, and it's like Wednesday, so I guess today, I felt so dysregulated. I felt like I was a horrible person. I felt shame. I felt guilt. I felt all these things come up in my body, and I even went to therapy on Monday, and I was just like, gosh, I just feel horrible. And we talked it out, but I literally bawled all the way home from therapy, bawled all night, cried again yesterday. And like, this has felt like the longest week. But it was all because I spoke up about something, and I, being a trauma victim and having gone through some of the things I went through in my early life, like that was not what I was taught to do, or I learned to do that. And so it's really pushed me out of my comfort zone to have to show up for myself and to speak my truth, but also doing it in an authentic, loving way, and allowing other people to have their views and understandings of things. And, I never want to like force people to believe what I believe or see things the way that I see things, because I think that would there's no point in us all being the same on this earth, because that would be so super boring, and we would never learn any lessons that we're supposed to be learning on this earth, because the whole point is to come and learn a lesson of love. And to learn love, you have to actually go through some shit. So, we provide shit for each other all the time on this planet, Anyways, so I just wanted to like encourage all of you, if you are moving through your religious, deconstruction, reconstructing the mind, your healing, doing some shadow work, learning how to use your voice again. If you start to feel icky and struggle after you have actually done it, where you have set a boundary, or you've spoken up for yourself, or you've done something that aligns with your values as you're moving into this spiritual awakening, don't be surprised if you start having days, or that same day you feel like physically like anxiety, depression, want to cry, like all these symptoms. Just know you're just releasing the energies out of your body. You'll realign and then learn from the experience. If you need to change it up somehow, then do that. If you don't, just, obviously we always have to change everything. So nothing's ever like perfect, but don't stop moving forward just because you feel bad. Okay? I'm rooting for you guys. I know this is a hard journey, but you got it. I'm so excited that you are on it with me. And I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. And I send you all the love. Namaste.